Are we recording?
We are.
We are recording. Alrighty. Welcome. Episode 5 of the Unfunded podcast. Crazy we've made it this far. Honestly, could have been cancelled by now. Probably should have been. Just want to address the elephant in the room. I lost the bet this weekend.
Yes. And that's good because my
Tri-suit is stinky. Lleyton still hasn't washed his tri-suit.
Yeah,
so
it's got Malaysian river in it.
Yeah, nice.
But this is not the same as Lleyton's tri-suit.
Oh, yeah,
You've just got
actually-
a little vest on.
Okay, so this is actually, it's not just a little vest.
I think
this
it's
It
half
is. It's
arsed.
this little tankini.
Okay, you were pretty proud of this. We'll get it out. So
Yeah,
this is
get it.
actually, if for the people who don't know, this is your.
My goat's suit, actually.
So this is actually pretty. This is pretty cool. I'm pretty proud that I've got this. I can't really remember how I got my hands on this, but Jan Frodeno, he is the 2008 Olympic champion.
Oh.
Probably won it. When did he win Ironman World Champs?
He's won 3 of them.
Okay,
And
he's won
won
3 of them.
70.3
So,
a couple times as well.
Arguably he's probably I think he's the second best athlete to have ever raced triathlon.
Yeah.
Lleyton thinks
I
he's
reckon
the
that's
best.
the best.
Yeah. And yeah, this is a bit of memorabilia that I've got of him. This is, I don't know where he would have raced in this. I don't know when, whatever, but I've got my hands on it.
So you don't know how you got your hands on it either.
It's been in my cupboard for God knows how long.
Do you
15
think
years.
Maybe he finished a race and he just ripped it off, wiped his face, and he threw it at the crowd. You'd had a few drinks.
And
You
that
can't
w-
remember anything.
15 years ago.
You grabbed it.
12.
stuffed it.
I would have been 12. So yeah, I was blind.
I'm a lot older than you guys. I forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
But yeah, I honestly don't know. But I thought instead of just wearing my normal tri-suit, I'll have a bit of fun with it and I'll wear this piece of memorabilia.
Is there pants as well?
No. Otherwise I would have
Bummer.
worn them. I would have happily worn them.
They probably just wore the Speedos in the day.
I can just get in my undies if you need.
Nah, well.
Can you just stand up so that everybody who's
Okay.
watching at home can have a look at this specimen of a shirt man?
Are you talking about me? Or are you talking about the shirt?
I don't know what I'm talking about right now. I'm a bit.
Nice.
The thing I do,
Yeah, I'm flustered.
The neck. I don't know how they would have swum in the
You
neck.
need a microphone.
Yeah, well, I
Can't hear
think
what
that
you're
he would have
talking
been
about.
a
What are you
bit bigger
saying?
of a man than you.
Excuse
He is
me?
about 6 foot something.
Can you talk?
Bigger traps, a bit more muscly. Yeah.
This sucks because Lockie's away from the mic. He can't even defend himself. He's
Good.
just standing there.
I'm just like muscly. What else do you need?
Bigger traps, you can't flex them bigger.
Take a seat and get your microphone so I can hear. What are you saying?
Sorry, I was just a bit upset that I got my headphones. Yeah, I was just trying to defend myself there. I didn't like that Lleyton was calling me
Small.
I mean, he is like a 6'4",
Yeah.
muscly German. Oh, I don't think. I'm not going to defend myself against this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is worn by one of the greatest of all time. So I thought, yeah, I'll show it off a little bit, and I'll wear it in honor. Hopefully he sees this.
Yeah.
He can send me a updated
A
one.
DM. Slide into your DMs.
I'd be happy with that.
Said how happy
That's
you
awesome.
are about it. So what actually happened? So you got one on the podium for the last race. Is
I
that what
got
happened?
Cal on the podium in 3rd. I picked his position.
We
Yeah.
picked horribly this
We
week.
weren't.
Because
Yeah.
We weren't
you
even
didn't get
close
anything.
we didn't. Well, I didn't get anything. I think at least in the World Series, they were around the mark.
Yeah.
Where we picked the women's race, it went completely different to how we
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah,
So
right.
the girls that we picked weren't really near. It just went in a completely different direction.
So Lleyton, you got one.
I got one,
in
so
the
it
right
saved
spot.
me.
Actually,
Wow.
our guest later on, Brayden Mercer, saved you.
Yeah.
He saved you.
Yeah, he did.
'Cause-
With a big sprint finish.
Yeah, our picks were around the mark,
Yeah.
and then Merce came out of nowhere and just completely ruined it for me. Completely ruined my picks. So I'm happy for him, but fuck you, Merce.
So did it come down to a running race like you guys were predicting though?
The men.
The men did.
Yeah,
So
and
the men came down to what we thought would happen, and then the women, it broke away. So the women's race, broke away in the end.
And we'll talk about that a bit
Yeah.
later. But
Yeah,
yeah, like
Yeah, cool.
we didn't get anywhere near the women. They were very wrong.
Right.
Lleyton, you said that your suit smells like Malaysian water.
Yeah.
How was
well,
Malaysia?
I was in Malaysia. I mean, Yeah, it's definitely Malaysia, isn't it? Like when you get there.
What do you mean? It's an
no way.
Asian country.
Yeah, like,
Otherwise known
it was
as Malaysia.
hot, humid.
Yeah.
Everything we said, yeah.
Yeah, it was everything that you said. Like, yeah.
It's a tough place to race.
It is, especially like you think coming from the Gold Coast heat in February, which is quite humid, you get there and it's still a different level. Like,
Oh yeah, because the humidity is wild.
Yeah,
yeah. I lived in Singapore for a while. My dad's actually from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, so I've been there too. And it is warm.
Yeah,
very warm.
It was hot.
You can't escape it.
No,
it really is
because
tough.
like the air is like thick.
Yeah,
and I can imagine it must be hard when you're running because you just be dripping sweat and the wind, like the air coming in. You
should wash that suit twice.
Yeah,
don't worry.
Give it a second wash.
Yep.
How was the race though? How was it?
I mean, I was a bit disappointed. Like, I'm not gonna lie, had a bit of a shocker.
Honesty's the best policy.
Didn't have a great like T2 out onto the bike and missed the front pack, and that was pretty much my day over for a good result. But
where did you place?
On to the next. I was 21st in the end.
Oh, that's not out of how many people?
70.
Oh, that's really good, Lleyton.
I was
Mate, if you're not winning, you're learning.
Well, I thought you were going to say you're not winning, you're losing.
That used to be my saying, but I've changed it up a bit. I've grown a little bit. But
good on you.
You'll get them next time.
Yeah, next time. First one of the year. But yeah,
it's always tough.
Move on.
It's always tough.
But in Malaysia, actually, a couple of things.
Is this your first? That was your first time ever getting?
Oh yeah, well yeah.
What happened?
Even though it wasn't a great result, somehow got drug tested.
Yeah, drug testers are there.
Yeah,
haven't you both been drug tested
actually
recently?
Within the last 2 weeks.
So we've said this since we started the pod. It's been gone for 3 weeks now. We've both been tested in that time.
Yeah,
I had the drug testers show up to my house
and
at
then
8 o'clock at night.
I finished the race and I'm like, bug it. I've just been zapped by the Malaysian sun, and he comes up to me. He's like, "Yeah, we've picked you for drug test." I'm like,
"Fuck off."
And so I only had about 2 hours to turn around, pack my bike, get enough water in to be able to wee, and do drug testing. And then get on the plane and come home.
Yeah.
And
how long does
the
drug testing take?
It takes us until you wee, essentially.
Oh.
So I had nothing in me. Obviously, I've been out there for just under an hour of racing.
You're just dehydrated,
nothing
left in you.
Yeah, I reckon I smashed at least 4 litres of water trying to get it, trying to wee.
The worst thing about that, though, is it also has to be at a certain level of whatever,
dilution.
Yeah, it can't be too diluted.
Yeah,
so if you're smacking back water, heaps and heaps of water, and then you piss and it's too diluted, they make you wait and you have to give another sample.
Redo it
I understand.
Yeah.
So the first one I did, they need 120 ml. So I've gone in there. I'm like, I'm ready to go to the toilet. I wee and I get 70 mil.
How was he? Was he looking?
He was looking. Yeah,
120 mil. That's quite a lot.
I know. I was calculating 120 mil is a lot. It's a lot of water. Yeah, or So I've gone in. I've peed 70 mil the first one. I'm like, fuck.
And they have to dump that as well.
No,
he let you keep it.
Yeah,
he let you keep it.
So
no, usually it has to be all in the same sample. That's so if he's letting you keep that,
that's not what happened.
This is what happened to me. I don't know what I mean.
Okay. And
then I had to sit there again and try and drink more and more and more. I had so much water. I thought I can't take another sip. I'm going to throw up. I too much water. And then I went again. I could only get 50 ml, but it was just enough.
Oh.
I'm not going to do it.
It was just
you were trying to wring out the hose. Every last drop.
No, it was. I was like, and he goes to me because it was a different guy that looked at both of them. He's like, "That's not enough." I said, "I've already put 50 mil. I need to get on a flight. I need to get this going. I need to go." Anyway, I've finished drug testing and I've drank all of that water. Well, that water comes back to bite me later, doesn't
you're
it?
pissing every 5 minutes. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, and they found the drugs too, so that's a bummer.
And I got done.
No.
Yeah, nice. Well, mate, welcome home.
Yeah.
Happy that.
I'm happy to be back.
Yeah. And you got a bit of fame now, I hear.
Yeah, well, big podcast guy apparently.
We've both been called the podcast guy in the last couple of days.
I'm unbelievable.
I'm sitting in the hotel, the race hotel, and sitting there having the buffet breakfast or whatever they're having. And one of the guys from Singapore comes over and goes, "Oh, You're the guy from the podcast, aren't you?
Oh my God.
I actually thought this was funny because I was looking at the growth of our Instagram on the pod and I was like, we're going to have more followers than Lleyton's actual account soon. like the growth of this is going quicker than your Instagram account.
How many followers do you have on Instagram, Lleyton?
Like 500, bit over.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Oh, that's cute.
no, that's about to grow exponentially. I know the podcast is going to take off.
Yeah,
and we're at over 200 now on the pod.
It was actually quite cool that a few guys actually were like, oh yeah, we listen to the podcast. Yeah, like a couple of Australian boys. Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah, you understand my mumble.
The Lleyton mumble.
Australian mumble.
That's cool.
We know what you're saying.
Nah, that's cool. Well, we'll keep it up. Don't worry, guys. We'll still be here.
Yeah,
we'll be here for a while. All right. The next thing, which is pretty exciting, footy's coming back.
Footy's back.
The only thing that sucks about this is that we both go for different codes.
Different codes.
Yeah, what are you? You don't watch footy.
Footy. What
so
is
I watch. I watch AFL. Lleyton watches NRL.
Yeah. Oh, understood.
Yeah.
I watch UFC.
Oh,
you're brutal.
Actually,
That's
really?
That's all
like
you watch?
The main sport that I will watch is UFC. Yeah, I love UFC.
See,
that is a true sport. That is
whoa.
true.
I think you forgot what podcast.
I did. No.
Yeah, everybody else sucks.
True test of strength.
Let's bash each other.
Yeah. All right, we're just fighting now.
It actually would improve triathlons if you guys actually had a punch up at the end.
Well, we've said that.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
That's what we want. Right?
We want that stuff. Okay. Well, next race we'll just go out and start throwing hands.
That'd be really cool. Very interesting.
So footy's back, and footy's back in Vegas.
Yeah, for the rugby league it is.
Cool. Oh no, we're not going. AFL hasn't quite made it to. Hasn't quite made it to the States yet.
They haven't even gone out and play Victoria.
Excuse me. Grand final this year. Queensland grand final last year. New South Wales team and a Queensland team.
Oh, yeah, but still Victoria.
It wasn't. It still was played in Victoria, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, that's exciting. I love footy.
Yeah, same.
It's so good to just sit Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Arvo.
Yeah.
Who are your teams?
I unfortunately go for the West Tigers.
And I unfortunately go for Adelaide Crows. Both of our teams suck.
Didn't the Crows
win
not too like?
I think in the females in the females we won.
No, not like a couple years ago.
No, we were in the grand final in 2017.
Oh, it's not the Crows, it's the Magpies. Fuck.
Yeah.
You've just gone to a shit team as well. I think the Pies.
Similar animal.
The Pies are the most hated team. Yeah. Nobody likes the Pies except the Pies.
Oh well, at least you're not with the Pies then.
Yeah, you're right. We'll keep up to date with that. Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Stick a few tinnies on the weekend while we're some
rubber league in Vegas.
Non-alcoholic tinnies.
Yeah, for sure.
And the last event that happened on the weekend, which is again pretty cool because we both follow this sport pretty heavily, is the Shaw and Partners World Ocean Series.
Yeah, so obviously the Ironman racing, the surf Ironman racing.
Yeah.
And you had Matt Bevilacqua, who we train with
swim,
and Georgia Miller winning the Shannon Exine Classic.
Did you actually see Shannon predicted that as well?
Yeah, he did.
On the 10 Talk.
Yeah,
on the 10 Talk, they got him on and he said, I think... And I almost think triathlon would probably be easier to predict than surf because there are so many factors in the surf. Yeah. You could have someone jag away from out the back and they win. So a nobody really. So
Sorry, just so I'm across this. This isn't triathlon in the surf. What is it?
It essentially is triathlon in the surf. Yeah. But it's they have 3 disciplines as well. So they swim as well and they paddle a board and then they paddle a ski in the surf.
Right.
So it is a triathlon in the ocean.
Understood.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So and we train with a few of these people. Like we know Baby pretty well from swimming, and again, it's cool for us to sort of go down and watch. And I know that they have an interest in triathlon as well. So. I guess, again, there's mutual respect there.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. See the video of Shannon just
predict
both of them, and then they both went and did it.
Wait until we predict it.
Yeah,
then we won't be in a suit, or you won't be.
No,
someone is always going to be in a suit.
I did predict that.
Yeah,
I picked both winners in the World Series, so Shannon just did what I did. It was just a bit better. And 25k for the win.
Yeah, that's actually huge. And
when are we going to get a race that's getting 25k for the win
for a short course race?
in Australia? as well.
Yeah.
We're getting paid what, $750?
Yeah.
That's not even paying the flights.
Yeah. You spend more in flights and accommodation.
I'm still not making a profit out of it.
I'm sorry, for a win, you're making $750
in a Conti, a Conti. So like the lower level stuff.
Yeah.
And that's so if you're Australian champion, you're walking away with $750. It's just criminal.
That's criminal.
Yeah, and that's not even paying flights. That's
it's
maybe
not.
paying the ACOM.
This is really just a passion sport in that case.
Yeah,
you know what I
and
mean?
that is why we've had to go out and source other ways of funding what
right.
we do. And obviously that's very different when you're in the higher levels. If you are winning world championships and World Series races, that is when you're making the 25k plus sort of races.
And long course is like there's
huge.
A lot more money in that now. Like T100, it's massive.
Again, it's just not in Australia.
It's just not domestically in Australia. There's just
no money.
No
money at all, which sucks.
25k in a car for a win in the series.
You'll take that. Would you take the car? I mean, you're obviously going to take the car. It's riddled with sponsors all over it.
Yeah, but I think
it looks pretty shit.
You just get it rewrapped.
Yeah, I don't know
if
after 2 years you can get rewrapped.
Oh,
but
that's
think about like an $80,000 car, you keep it for 2 years. You can still sell it for like 40.
Yep.
I saw it and I thought,
yeah,
it's a bit embarrassing to drive around in that.
Nah, that's sick. You're the winner.
Yeah.
What do the brands say? Does it actually
just
say
says
number
like
one?
big sponsor of the races.
It's riddled with sponsors on it.
Okay.
It looks a little bit like...
And what car is it like?
It's like a Isuzu, like...
It's pretty cool. It is a pretty cool... It's pretty cool
solid,
car.
like, four-wheel drive.
But okay, that's cool.
Bevy's already got a really cool car. He's got the Defender. Is it a Defender or a Land Cruiser?
Yeah, a troopy kind of thing, like Land Cruiser.
It looks cool, regardless. He's got a cool car, so now he's just adding him to the stash now.
Another one.
Yeah. Alrighty, so that's the little intro wrapped up.
Yeah, that's what we have for the week.
That's it for the week. That's pretty cool. Again, like we said at the start, big guest. I think we said that at the start.
We did. If
we didn't say that at the start, I'm saying it right now. We've got a big guest today.
First guest
of the pod. Yeah. So that's exciting. Alrighty, so we're rolling. It's a big episode today. Pretty exciting. First for the podcast. And it's actually it's a first podcast for our guest today. Some people might know him from the surf lifesaving scene. He's a big name in the surf lifesaving. The family name is big in the world of surf sports. Our guest has come from surf sports himself, and now he's cemented himself as arguably one of the best triathletes in Australia. He's just had a run of Conti Cup podiums in the last year or so. He's recently been crowned the 2024 Noosa Triathlon Champion, so that was huge. And he is now fresh off a gutsy and impressive second place, his first ever World Cup podium, and that is Brayden Mercer. Welcome to the podcast, big fella.
Welcome to the pod.
Well done.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And like we said, it's his first podcast, so we're super excited that we get to be the ones to pop his cherry on the podcast.
First podcast you've ever been on?
First one.
Oh,
and
nice.
It's the Unfunded. Like I've heard this podcast, and when I got the offer, I couldn't believe it.
Couldn't resist it.
It's pretty cool as well. You raced what 24 hours ago? Just over.
Yeah, just over 24 hours
Was
ago.
it seriously 24 hours ago?
Yeah.
Yesterday at 1 p.m. in New Zealand.
In New Zealand. So he's straight off the plane this morning, straight into the podcast studio.
So how are you actually feeling?
Not too bad. I feel actually pretty good. Obviously,
Do you?
Bit of adrenaline still, maybe. Yeah.
Still stoked.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'd be exhausted.
Yeah,
I'd be done. I'd be asleep.
Obviously, straight off the plane, and you're like fresh off that second at Napier. That's why you're here, and we want to hear about it. So I reckon give us like your little Mercer's Napier rundown, like what happened throughout the race. We saw it from the TV.
Yeah.
We watched it. The commentators were a bit better.
Yep.
Gassed up the sprint finish.
Yeah.
Which was good. But yeah, let us know how it went. Like you obviously let out of the water and you had the fastest run time of the day.
Yep.
But what made it happen?
Yeah, well, like you said, let out the water, so that's the start there. Yep. Just simple as that, I guess. Gun goes, hard swim. Obviously the swim is a strength of mine, as I know, and try to use my strengths in the race.
Did you lead from the start in the swim, or
it was two of us, Jack Crome.
Yeah.
He got a bit of a better start, and then I came around at the turning boys and then let us in, and then into T2 came out on the bike, and then sort of thought there was a bit of a break. There was probably about 15 of us, and that was probably ideally what I wanted, having like good guys like Cal in the race and the good runners. So it was looking good for the bike pack and got rolling, but sort of, we weren't too organised early on, and that chase group was able to sort of catch on about halfway through. So there was a big group of pretty much the whole field, I'd say.
Yeah.
And then, it's just for me at that point, early on I was sort of going to the front trying to, initiate that sort of split. But once the group caught on, I was like, all right, run time, baby. So I was like, I know I'm running well, and I just sort of had to do what I needed to do to be fresh, get ready. And then came in, and then towards the back, so not ideal, but I was out of danger, but obviously not ideal.
Did you have like a plan coming into it, or were you just like, I'm just gonna go hard?
I think you got to have a plan, but you got to be able to react as well.
Yeah,
it's so hard. Like I said, 1 minute's the breakaway, next minute you get caught. You got to be able to be on your toes.
You're adjusting that game plan all the time.
Adjusting, yeah.
So what's the initial game plan?
Go hard from the start.
I'll just go hard. Just like go bloody hard, and that's it.
There's not much tactics.
And then talk us through that run, because I thought that was the most impressive run that we saw. Like, it was the fastest run of the day as well.
Especially since we said before, like in our sort of preview of the race, we're like, this is going to be a runner's race.
Yeah.
Like and you proved us wrong. We didn't have you in our picks, but we thought this is going to be a runner's race. You've beaten some of the best runners in the sport.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, the day before I was, didn't have much to do. Finished the warm up prep, the swim bike run, and I was like, what do I do? Like, I got the room to myself, and I was, you know what? I haven't listened to the Unfunded pod. I put it in, and then I hear the boys didn't pick me in their top three. We
gassed you up. We said you could throw a blanket over the whole field.
Yeah. Is that what's up? Did you hear the podcast, and then you were like, you know what? I'm going to prove them wrong. That's it.
That was it. Nah,
fuck those boys.
I was saying, I was like, it would be pretty funny if I could, stuff the boys' bets up. So I was like,
you did.
It'd be funny. Yeah, you did. Then back of the mind, of course.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, but with that run, I just came in, did run past my my box, which is obviously good. So giving him another head start. But I came out, and then I think when you are a bit behind, you just got to stay calm. I knew I could run well, and I was like, just run my race. I think it's so easy to be like, oh, they're up the road, like it's done. Like, you just can't give up. You got to just be like, all right, I know what I can do. I got to do it. And obviously it was good having that big pack, because I was just like, the first K was just like a person every 2 seconds. So like, I think that just gives you that confidence. And then before I knew it, probably like 1500 through, I was like, oh, I'm in top 10. Like, I've never got a top 10 in a World Cup, like third World Cup, previous best was a 17th. So I was like, oh, that's already a big plus. And then I was like, well, what's better than a top 8? I was like, well, a top 10, a top 8. And then I was like, oh, that's 7th, that's 6th. And then before I knew it, I was like, shit, that's the top 5 right there. So like, let's go. And then, caught on the back of the top 5, and that's where all those strong runners were. But I wasn't worried who it was. It's just, they're just athletes. It's not, you can't think of the names. You just got to go, right there.
Pluck them off.
They're just figures.
That's it. Like, I mean, they're all, great athletes, and respect every athlete on that start line. Anyone can do anything, but you've got to sort of worry about yourself. And then they did surge probably about, I'd say 1,400 away.
Around that turnaround?
The 2 Spaniards.
Yeah,
and
I saw both
Cal,
Spaniards.
And then the American young bloke, Reese, he was sort of dropping, and I was like just off the back of him, but I was just fighting to get back on those boys. Probably got on about 600-700 out, tagged on the back of him, and then we hit that U-turn, which was about 500 out, I reckon. And I was like, all right, I feel pretty good. And I know, like, it's a minute of pain. Like, just do it. Like, whatever you got to do, go. And I got pretty excited. I was like, I've never really been in this position in the World Cup. So I was like, I could tell everyone was waiting for someone to go. So I was like, may as well be me. And then I went. And then, that sort of like led for about 100 meters, picked up the pace, and then Castro just came around, and obviously had a credit to him, great sprint. Classy. Came around, and then I knew, like, you can't just let him go. I was chasing him, and I obviously had guys like Cal. I could literally see him in my peripheral, like he was right there on my shoulder. So I was like, go, like. You want to get second, like this is huge, and then obviously straight through the line, and then when I cross, I was like, oh, that's
just done it.
Result.
That's great. What was that feeling like when you actually came second?
Oh, it was, pretty good. I think like you're still trying to process it because you're in the race, and then it sort of sinks in maybe a couple minutes after. You're like, oh, I really did that. But initially you're like, whoa,
it's a shock.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, pretty stoked, of course.
Well done, man.
I just remember watching, when I was watching the run, everything you did, I was almost like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, nah, like no way Mercer's just done that. And when I saw the front pack of 5 that got away, again, like we said,
we
picked
like we were going. We picked those guys at the front there.
They're the best runners in the world.
Yeah.
And to see you sort of bridging up, I just thought, no way he's going to do that. And then you did it. And then all of a sudden you went with the breakaway of those 3. And I was like, no way he's going to get back on. And you did it. And then all of a sudden you ran around them. I thought, no way he's going to do it. And I was like, he's actually going to do it.
Less fatigued as the race goes on.
Mate, it was so cool. It was so cool. I think that's a huge credit to your mentality as an athlete. I think everybody knows, like everybody here in Australia, everyone knows that you've just got a fucking dog in you that just doesn't like, you've just got something about you that
it's a little
dog.
But bark.
You're known for barking at the cameras. But I think honestly that race just showed how gutsy you can be, and that it doesn't matter how shit your T2s are, because they're so bad, man. You gotta work on those.
I know.
Like,
it's just
it's scary to think how good you could be, when you get a T2 right. I think like where I sort of realized your true, grit was, I remember when we were in Kitzbühel, we were racing in Kitzbühel, and we both made the final, and I went, God, this is so cool. We're racing against racing against some top dogs here.
Alex Yee, the Olympic champion.
And I was kind of like, we're all kind of fighting for second. And I remember that your exact words were, fuck that. How are we going to beat him? How,
that's
and like,
what you got to be like.
Yeah, this guy at the end of last year, again, like we said, Olympic champion, world champion. That wasn't your thought process. It was, all right, what tactics can we put in place here to beat him? And I was kind of like, fuck yeah. All right, let's do it then.
And like at the end of the day, it happens if it does or it doesn't. Like, it doesn't matter, shake hands at the end of the race. Like hats off to the guys that beat you, like it's just about it's just about bettering yourselves. I think that's always been my mentality. It's like, how can I get the best out of myself? You know?
Focus on you and you only.
Exactly. And you're always going to do well doing that, I reckon.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Did you do a little victory dance at the end?
No, God, no.
He's all barking to the cameras are there.
Everyone's scared now. Do the victory thing after what you did, Lockie.
I know, everyone's too nervous. Yeah. Because they know if they do a bad celebration, it's going on the page.
I don't think you could top that one as the worst.
Oh, righto. Lucky we weren't rooming together for the first time. I was practicing it with Jordo and the night before. I'm kidding.
So obviously off the back of that, like that's a big World Cup podium. Yeah. What's for the rest of the season? Like obviously we know what's coming up. We've got Devonport and whatever. But after that, for the rest of the season, what's kind of the goal and what's?
I mean, to be honest,
what's your plan?
Devonport is really the only plan from now. I think the goal was to see what I could do. Obviously, at the end of last year, I did really well in Noosa. And I will admit, like it was a bit of a surprise, but it was a race I knew I could do. And obviously doing that, it's like, all right, is that what I can continue to do? Or is that one of those races where it's like you have a big up and then you plateau for a bit and then you do it again? And obviously like weekend was, pretty good and shows that I think I'm moving in the right direction. So I think we just wanted to start the year off, few races, see how we go, and then plan from there. Because obviously podium here like opens up a few more avenues of what I can do. So I think, I actually just came from swimming then, Coach Dan, and we just said let's get some solid training and do Devonport and then do well there, and then let's see what we can do.
Is like under 23 world champs, is that sort of like the main goal for the end of the year, or?
I think like under 23s and then
just skip that and go straight to the World Series.
Maybe. Well, I think like obviously I won't like hide it. Everyone wants to race World Series, so
for sure.
I mean, I obviously want to take the steps to get there. I don't want to take it like obviously I think big, but you got to take the realistic steps to get to those big goals. So I think I want to do it in the right time, which I think isn't too far away. But let's just see what we can do and then do it. I reckon. Yeah.
Cool. No, I like that. Yeah. Is that the serious? That's the serious stuff out of the way.
Yeah, I think so.
Serious stuff. Yeah,
That's
right. Now
we're not too serious.
We like the serious stuff every
we
now
want
and
to
then.
see the Merce that we know.
Yeah, Is it my time to shine? Is it my question time?
Yeah, if you've got some questions, we've got some.
You
You've got
know,
some.
you know I've got questions from non-triathletes.
Yeah.
I'm not going like too crazy. I want like your backstory. Like, how did you get into triathlons in the first place?
I guess, long story. I grew up doing sport. I was always pretty competitive, but I did do a lot of surf life saving, but I never sort of like, specialized in that. And I was like, this is what I want to do. But I've always had that feeling like I wanted to be an athlete or something like that. I had that competitive spirit. And then, growing up, doing a lot of sport, and then, started doing a bit of running. And then obviously, a few coaches were like, oh, you're pretty good at running and swimming, do triathlon. It's an Olympic sport. And then gave that a go, and I'm obviously so happy I made that decision.
Yeah, because you're bloody good at it, obviously.
I'm all right.
In such a short amount of time as well, which is what's so respectable.
It sounds kind
Over
of like you're a bit of an underdog. Do you see yourself as an underdog?
It's fair to say that. I think I'm still pretty new on the scene. I've only got a few races under my belt in triathlon and in general. Like I haven't done heaps. Like I'm still learning every race, and
that's what's crazy.
Exciting,
like if you're so early on, like you've got so far to go, and you're already killing it. Yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah, hopefully that's how it goes, I guess.
It really is insane. Like how quick the uprising. Rise. So quick.
Have you been focusing on like running a lot lately, like trying to improve that part of things?
Since I started triathlon, which I probably did my first one about 4 years ago now. That's when I just went, all right, this is what I'm doing. Yeah. And I just went, that's what I want to do. And I just went all in on that. So
you're going to do it all. Just do it all really bloody good.
It wasn't like a nice, easy intro. It was like people were like, you got to do this and you do it now. And I was like, all right, let's do it.
Cool.
So I've obviously got
locked in, as you say. Hey,
locked in, just locked in.
Do you have like a pre-race, I don't know, pump up or anything like that? Like, do you have any rituals? Superstitions? Do you wear dirty underwear like Lleyton does?
No.
Never wash your tri-suit.
Yeah, that one stinks, Merce. Have you washed it?
It smells like champagne.
Yeah, that's a champagne.
I got it.
Not ours. Ours just sweat.
Yeah.
So you don't have any kind of superstitions?
No, I don't.
Like
I'm not really a superstitious person. I think.
Mate, you eat the same thing. I've stayed with you enough to know you just eat the same.
Yeah, but that's not superstition. That's just like I'm boring.
Mate, every time Merce and I've stayed together, it's just chicken and rice.
An uncultured food palette.
Chicken and rice is a good choice. I have it every night as well.
Like leading into a race, you got to keep it simple. You don't want to be shitting yourself.
You're not eating like chicken feed or something really weird. Yeah,
you do that. We were in Morocco and you were like, "Oh, I want to taste all like the different." I'm like, "Bro, we're racing in like 2 days."
Do that.
Like,
race is done. Let's try stuff. Let's get a bit exotic. But
not days before the race.
I was so over fucking
simple.
Chicken and bloody couscous. Wasn't funny.
Yeah.
So I've never thought of that before. That you guys have to be like obviously careful with what you eat the day before in case you poop your pants, like the girl did poop her pants. What's her name?
Poisoning.
Yeah, food poisoning.
Like
anything.
Drinking the water.
Yeah,
I've
careful.
heard that before. It's not nice. So speaking of going away on trips, we've roomed together a lot.
Yeah, I think
most races.
Every race I did overseas, you did.
I don't want to ask this question then.
What?
Okay, well, maybe not.
Maybe I'll ask it.
Yeah. Well, we were going to say, who's out of all the people you've stayed with, who's the worst person that you've ever roomed with?
You got to call him out.
That's hard because there's no one that's been bad.
All right, but who's the worst?
Who's the worst?
Out there. Who have I roomed with?
Have you stayed with Coursey? He sucks to room with.
I haven't roomed.
What sucks about Coursey?
Did you go in Taupo last year?
But we all had our own room.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Nah, me and Coursey shared in Wollongong together, and that boy doesn't know how to clean his room. I'd hate to see his room back home.
I'm not trying like showing shade on anyone.
Coursey was rough to stay with.
Nah, I've never stayed.
No one bad.
Pretty bad. Yeah,
that's lucky.
I honestly I prefer to stay with someone than by myself.
Yeah,
I've had
100%.
On the weekend. World Cup all my World Cups I've stayed solo, and I think it's just nice just to have someone to talk to. I'm not really a person that gets too nervous for a race. Like I'm one of the boys that's sort of cracking jokes in the athlete lounge, and some people are serious, some people are just not like chill. Like everyone's different, so I think I like just being like bit
of normal,
hanging with the boys, like and then as soon as the gun goes, then it's race mode.
It's different.
Yeah.
Nah, cool.
Well, one more question, I think. We can do one more? Or we got more?
We got a couple.
Oh, okay, good.
Go.
No, I'll end with a very fun one. So
Okay. So, obviously, Noosa. It was a big payday.
Yes, it was.
I want to know, you're only 20, so you're still young. If you're a 20-year-old and you're a 20-year-old footy player, you see them, buying stupid cars and whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe not that kind of
we don't
level.
Have that price.
Yeah, we don't have that price, mate.
Nice.
But surely, did you spend it on something stupid?
Well, all right. Most of it is either haven't spent or I've invested. Yeah. But I will admit, did go to the
invested in the casino
a few times.
Invested in the roulette table.
Did it reinvest back in you? Or?
I reckon it would have maybe reinvested. Like it would have gone. It would have either way, like not much either way. Give or take a little bit. So
it came back around.
It was a bit of fun.
I've heard you are pretty good on the roulette table. Even though I know it's chance, but I've heard Mercer's good at reading those tables.
Yeah, it's best you can read them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're not losing money, you're doing well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Sarah, do you want to?
I thought Lleyton looked like he had one more.
I do.
I was going to say, I mean, you've got that dog in you. But every single Instagram post ends with "let's get it" or "let's go." Yeah. And Lockie, I was talking to Lockie before, and he reckons he coined that post, little phrase.
There was a bit where I was doing it,
phrase.
And then Lleyton brought this up, and I thought,
"You're copying me."
He's you copying me?
No, hell no. I've
been doing this a lot longer.
Like,
Mate, I'll go through the archives.
We create different content.
We do. Yeah. I don't want you to talk about my content. I know what you're going to say.
We're not going to say anything. No, I'm just joking. No, I just say that because I think it's just cool to end.
It's good to hype up.
Just like let's go. Like,
let's go.
Yeah.
Like get hyped up. It's fun. Like for me, I have a ball out there. Like it's hard as hell, but it's fun.
What it should be.
Like
at the end of the day,
you finish that race, and if you go hard, you're like, was fun.
Yeah.
It gets a bit chaotic, but you're like, this is what I train for. So it's
Is it the feeling afterwards of like doing well and succeeding that really makes it all worth it?
I think it's everything. I think it's the before, the during, and the after. Like obviously the before you're nervous and you're sort of like, or you can feel the adrenaline, and then during it you got mad adrenaline, and then you're trying to stay switched on, be in the race. You got everything going on at once, and that's the funnest part. When you look back, you're like, that was the most fun, because it's like, although like most of the time it does hurt, but I think that's what's fun. Like it's just the challenge and
the little moments.
Yeah, the little moments. And then when you finish and when you have a good race, then it's like, oh, that was good.
Just talking to the boys and like recapping what happened.
Yeah. And it's just like,
it's a big one for you guys, like talking about the challenge all the time, like always wanting to overcome the next challenge, which is really cool. I don't care about any of that shit. So challenge. I hate a challenge.
Life on easy mode.
Literally.
It's also like it's the consistent pursuit of like something that may never come.
100%.
Like it may never come. You may never win the race. You may never make it in the sport, but like you're consistently pursuing it every single day with absolutely no guarantee that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, so when a good race does happen and when you do get that little triumphant moment, it's like, wow, like that's a little taste of it is working and it is paying off.
And I think that's probably why us as like mates, like all the mates, because you're going through kind of the same thing.
We all respect what each other.
Yeah, exactly 100%. Right. And like that's why, mate, we're stoked that you get a second in the World Cup. That's massive,
And what you
know
just
how
said.
much hard work kind of goes into it. Together.
And like I respect it all. Like it's good seeing, especially the Aussie lads, like all do well, because it's like Lockie does well. That means like we're all competitive. I want to beat Lockie. Lockie wants to beat me. That makes me want to get better. Last year seeing the boys do well, like I think that's helped. Seeing guys like Luke and Howes go real well last year, I think that's probably helped me go, all right, well, the level's there. You got to get there. So it pushes you. I think that's, and we all respect each other. We know, like, we all put in the work. And,
for sure.
And it's sort of like we all get the better out of each other, I think.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, that's bloody beautiful.
Yeah. That was cute.
That's really sweet.
Now kiss.
I got deep.
All right. Well, final question then.
Yeah.
So for someone who is starting out in triathlons or wants to do triathlons or thinking about it, what advice would you give them?
I
should have maybe prepared for this one. But
I think I would like if I'd say have fun. That's a bit cliche. Just I guess challenge yourself, have fun, challenge yourself, and see what you can do. Don't put like too much pressure on it. It's just a triathlon at the end of the day. Go out there, set a goal, and try and kick it. And if you don't, then good, because you can come back next time and try. And if you do, good, because you're going to feel good after doing that. So I think that's the thing to do. Like set little goals and tick them off one by one, I reckon. That's my big advice.
This is bloody beautiful. That was great. Yeah, that's really good.
Nah, perfect. I'm assuming that sort of rounds out the Unfunded podcast very first athlete.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's an honour, honestly. Privilege.
Biggest achievement of the last 24 hours.
Up there. Definitely.
Nah, awesome. Well, mate, thank you very much. And I'm sure from all of us, good luck with the rest of the season. Look forward to seeing how you go.
On.
Cheers, boys. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Alrighty. Thank you again to big Brayden Mercer, man of the hour, really. I think we're all pretty stoked watching that on the weekend. So cool to get him on, cool to get his thoughts, and he speaks well.
Yeah.
He speaks well.
And you guys are like fangirling like a little bit, which is
Don't
really
say
cute.
that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Nah.
You're just happy
He's
for
our
him.
mate.
Look, he's my mate and I'm happy for him, but don't you dare say that I'm fangirling. I won't have that. Nah. Again, like we said, and like I'm obviously sitting here half naked, the tips were shit this week.
Yeah. We're off.
We were well off this week.
Yeah.
I mean, at first on the men, in the first like K, my 3 picks were there. 1, 2, 3. And I thought, I've done it again. I was like, I've stepped it up. I picked the last 2 winners last week. I thought I've just picked the whole podium here.
Yeah.
I'm done
again,
here.
like I said, Brayden Mercer came and just absolutely ruined me.
So let's go through the actual results. We had David Castro in first. Then we had Brayden Mercer, who we've just heard, come in second. And then Cal McCluskey in third. I got that one. Cal in third. So Lockie's in the tri-suit.
Well done.
Did he shush the Falcon again or whatever?
Nah, Falcon wasn't.
Nah, he got third. He got third, so he couldn't really shush the Falcon from third place. But
you could shush someone.
Nah.
Should have shushed.
Anyway, the
done it.
Shut up.
the women's podium, we'll go through that one. It was Desiree what's the last name?
I think it's
Rydner.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard of Rydner. It is.
And then we had Emma Jeffcoat, which I thought was great.
Yeah, awesome from Jeffy.
Ainsley Thorpe, which was cool as well, another Kiwi. So like
3 Aussies on the podium.
Yeah.
Fucking
overall.
awesome.
Wow.
That's exactly what we want. So, and like, you know, we've obviously harped on Merce and we picked Cal. I picked Cal to win. You picked Cal to come third. So we kind of knew Cal was going to be around that ballpark.
Yeah,
we've harped on Merce, but Emma Jeffcoat, and she's sort of one that in the very first episode when, you know, I got a little bit of stick for what I said about the women and sort of the women in Australia right now and where they are in racing. And Emma was definitely the one that I sort of said, there is a reason why Emma should be continuing to get picked in World Series races. Like, you won't find someone who swims and rides as hard as Emma Jeffcoat. Like, she wants a breakaway. She's in every single race actively looking for a breakaway. Usually it doesn't, and I said her run isn't her strength, but who knows?
Yeah,
she could have a hectic off season and she would come back and do something.
I think she's done that. Yeah.
She was in a sprint finish for the win.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, it was a second.
I thought that
two.
was really great to see. Like, I think both of our probably performance of the week does go to Brayden.
Oh, for sure.
I think the way he ran that race, like in the men's race, was very impressive. But I think in the women's, it's got to be Emma Jeffcoat. She led, like, actually Zoe Clark also had a great race, I think.
First out of the water.
Yeah, first out of the water.
Debutant as well.
Yeah.
Debutant.
And had a great ride. But Emma Jeffcoat, running and she was at the front the whole day.
She's just an aggressive racer. Just she wants a breakaway. She's made it known that every single race she goes into, I want a breakaway.
Yeah,
she lives for
gonna
it.
race at the front.
Yeah,
and make it hard.
And what we said is we are nervous that style of racing is going to die with the run pedigree that we have coming through. Are people just going to sit back and wait for the run now? And we've got guys like Dylan McCulloch who are doing it in the men. Brayden Mercer, he said before, he wants to try make breakaways happen. You got Jeffcoat, who we've seen it time and time again. If she's in the race, you've got an Australian suit.
Yeah.
On the camera.
And I think it came down to when we said it last podcast, we were talking about the allies in the race.
Yeah.
Emma had Zoe Clark, who was a big ally there for her, like swimming really hard and riding really hard in her first World Cup. It was great. You had Eva Goodison as well, like we trained with her. that was her best World Cup to date.
They've been in breakaways.
Yeah, and they've been
in
breakaways together, and they're really just like kind of moving that front pack forward.
Yeah.
I think they're kind of just trying to develop, and I guess, you need those allies to really come together, and I think they're getting confidence in that, which is really cool to see.
And again, like we said, with those allies, you're on the start line, you know that person suits my race plan and I suit that person's race plan. So it is a subconscious, we're working together here. Yeah. We want to get rid of those girls who are rapid runners.
We want to make it a race of 6 rather than a race of 26.
You are. You're making the odds better for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think they almost had like a minute.
Yeah, it was really impressive.
Huge gap.
Big gap.
Yeah, and on that course is not easy.
Yeah.
It's like Merce said, it's windy, it's dead straight. It's a little bit boring, kind of comes together. Easy for it to come together. So the fact that they were able to hold that lead was super impressive. And yeah, like you said, Jeffy's definitely one that we need to, give an honourable mention to because she did very well.
I thought it was great.
You guys said that it didn't come down to a running race with the females. What happened? Like you said, it was quite unusual.
There was a break of about 6 girls. So the top 3. And then you had Zoe Clark, Evie Goodson, and Bria Roderick.
Yeah, that's right.
6 of those girls.
Good for Bria to be in that.
Yeah, it was. 6 of those girls broke away out of the swim, and they just hammered it on the bike, put a minute into that second pack of who we would have said, like, we picked from that second pack, realistically, those runners. And they just drove that pack, got really organised really quickly, and it worked. And those 3 girls stayed away. Actually, most of them did.
I think the
few
only
of them
one
caught, but
your pick to win, the Italian girl, she ran into fourth.
Yeah,
I think that was the only one that she ran into most. But again, like with the breakaways, you are essentially, and like what Brayden said, where the packs came together and it was essentially a big pack of 40. Yep. So then you've got 40 guys running for the win. Where with these girls, they're a pack of 6 coming off a minute in front. So you're essentially minimized. So you're a 1 in 6 chance now, not a 1 in 40.
It's like a full-on strategy kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what would you define a breakaway as?
For me, it's anything realistically over like 10 seconds. If you're away from the pack, if you're detached from the pack, sometimes they come together and it's a couple seconds maybe in the end. But yeah, if you're anything over 10 seconds, you're a little bit of a breakaway sort of thing.
Yeah. Cool.
But like we said, those girls did super well.
So they broke away like super early, so kind of like in the swim.
Yeah, out
really
the swim,
they had the bike.
they had a pack and then they just worked really well together on the ride and didn't get caught.
Legends. Team building.
Yeah,
Isn't it teamwork in a way? No,
it's funny teamwork, but at the same time, it's teamwork until you get to the run and then it's fun.
And then it's like all woman for himself.
Yeah, for sure. But no, the girls did really well. They made it a really interesting race, and it was cool. It was a gutsy race, so good on the girls there in that one. Couple on Aspen Anderson debut.
First World Cups.
Yeah, first World Cup. Again, obviously, I think it's incredibly tough to do well in your first one. Like,
it's a different level of racing.
It took Merce 3 goes to get to that. Like, we've seen a lot of people. This was my first one last year, and I got 30 something. So it's just another level of competition. Really, there's no let up in this.
Jack Crome as well on the men's side.
Yeah, good to see him leading it.
Second out of the world.
Yeah, second out of the world with Merce. Yeah. So again, he's one that we thought was going to be there. He's just going to get better, really. Yeah. You get better with experience. So
there's a lot of like guys and like Kiwis and stuff who were like first kind of World Cups.
Yeah.
And they all race really well, to be fair.
I think again, it's one of those things you get better with experience. Yeah. So the more you do, you'll learn from your mistake every time. Merce said it again before. I know I keep referring back to the interview with Merce, but he's still new to the sport and he's still jumping up. Level by level, and you're learning every time. Like I said to you before, if you're not winning, you're learning. It's like
exactly.
I made that mistake. Well, how can I fix that?
And we said before with Merce, didn't we? Like it's that constant pursuit of trying to get to the next level and improve.
Yeah. Well, what can I do better next time? Yeah. So, alrighty. Well, it's kind of that's it for Napier. Again, a little bit embarrassing that we keep putting the pics up on socials and there's just a lot of red X's. It's been twice now I've done it. I'm like, we're actually pretty shit at this. It is so hard to get them in the exact order. Like we said.
The exact order is hard.
So say
get a rough ballpark.
It's doing all right because at least we've both got one. Yeah. Like each time.
I was wondering what you're talking about then. I was like, they're talking about the reels because I'm making those and I thought they were pretty good.
I'm going to bone to pick with you.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
That reel.
You mean the Valentine's Day one? Come on.
I was like, I
don't freeze on us again, Lockie.
Not too fair. Oh. No, it's your laugh.
Should we just wrap it up there, mate? Should we just wrap it up?
Don't bring it up again if you don't want it brought up.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know why I did that. No, actually, to be fair, you did me a solid. You kind of cut it early, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
If you want to see the entire thing, check it out on YouTube. It'll be out very, very soon.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, that's a wrap for episode 5.
Wow.
Once again, thank you very much for
tuning in.
Yeah, tuning in. Brayden Mercer.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming on. We loved having him. Hopefully, there's some more big performances later on. And actually, we didn't say Brayden Mercer is our athlete of the week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Oh, we did?
You said
okay.
you did.
We want to officially say Brayden Mercer, athlete of the week. Again, just an incredible athlete, and we're going to see more of him in the future.
Nice.
So
now can I plug our socials?
Plug our socials.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Cool. Okay. The Unfunded Pod is our social. Check us out on Instagram. We're on TikTok, YouTube now as well. Just search for the Unfunded Podcast.
Do you want on TikTok?
We are on TikTok, but I'm pretty shit at it, to be fair.
I don't have TikTok.
I should never have mentioned that.
I don't follow it.
I don't have TikTok.
I might get rid of it. It's just too much. But we do have Instagram. We do have YouTube. We do have an email address as well, theunfundedpodcast@gmail.com, if you want to send in some suggestions or tell us how much you love us. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Cool.